Hi, I'm me again. Um, so I wanted to talk about the other night because that guy that I ran into, the weird one, yeah, he did something, and it's one of those things that kind of like it nags at you, and in the back of your brain, it still irks you days, weeks later when you think about it, and it's just like you kind of want to go back to the moment and bitch slap him into oblivion. Have you ever had one of those moments where someone says something extremely judgmental and absolutely closed-minded, and you sit there and you're like, oh, okay, you're one of those. Got it. I actually, and it's fucked up because I almost have no internal monologue, because when I said, oh, you're one of those, it came out of my mouth, and it was supposed to be inside, like my inner voice and not my outer voice, and yet it came out, and I was just like, whoops. And he was like, what? And I explained to him, I was like, I don't care for having conversations with zealots because they're all about how their religion is the only religion and you have to follow their religion, and it's wrong. I can't stand zealots in political parties either because they're wrong. It's not okay to go extreme in anything. Everything in moderation can be fine. That being said, too much of anything, even a good thing, can be bad for you. But I kind of wanted to go over this because it's a thing that happens more often than not in organized religion. And you don't find that as much in the paths of the older gods. Allow me to explain. When I was younger, so I was born into a family of Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's start way back. And in my early teens, I found out, or I realized, it wasn't for me. It was wrong. It was a wrong fit. It was just wrong for me. I'm sure it works for other people perfectly fine. It's just not me. And I felt like I was imposing views that weren't even my own on people whenever I would knock on their door to preach to them. And so when I was able to break free and go on my own quest for God, religion, whatever you want to call it, I found my faith. At the end of a 37 religion long search, deep dive search for God and truth, I found a faith that works for me. Or a belief system, really, that works for me. And I'm sure it doesn't work for everybody. But it works for me. And that's it. And I wouldn't preach it to anybody else because it's not something that would work for everyone, It's a whole new belief system that they would have to learn from scratch. And they already know their belief system, and it works for them, and that's good. Because if it works for them, then that's great. That's a good thing. One of the things that I was taught when I was young by a shaman, he told me that faith is about how you believe, not what you believe in. Because so long as you have faith in something, your life will have meaning. And I believe that. I really do. Because I have seen it. I've seen it in Christians when they really are touched by their faith. It's a beautiful thing to watch. I've seen it in witches. I've seen it in Buddhists. It's a beautiful thing to watch. When a person's faith really, really keeps them going on, it's amazing. That being said, my following the path of the old gods is something that most people wouldn't understand, and most people from organized religions really wouldn't understand, because then the first thing that they're taught is, well, you're wrong, and you now must follow my God and my path. And that is not okay. And I don't like to use the word tolerance because tolerance is something for alcohol content. You lose your tolerance at the bar. That's when you go and shove your face in the porcelain sink. But I don't want my religion to be tolerated. I don't want my belief system to be tolerated by anyone. It's a terrible word. Tolerance. I don't want you to accept my beliefs either. Well, not my beliefs. But I feel that people should accept that not everyone feels the same way. People should accept that not everyone believes in the same way. People should accept that people don't have to have the same faith to feel the same way about certain things. You want to help feed the hungry? Great, I do too. You want to help house the homeless? Wonderful, I do too. It doesn't change my ideals. My ideals and yours can still be along the same lines. What we have faith in has nothing to do with the core of the person that we are. We take our faith to our core. But that's entirely different. It has nothing to do with our faith. That has to do with our entire personality. Now, I'm having a little bit of trouble with that. Because I've only just recently gotten into the whole found out I'm some sort of INFJ, and it's driving me nuts now because I'm going down that rabbit hole. Sorry, discussion for another time. Let's table that one, shall we? So the reason I came on tonight is because it irked me. It irked me because people seem to feel that if you don't believe as they do, then you're wrong and you need to convert. And I think that people need to change that position, because that position is wrong. And we need to find a healthier way to say things that we disagree upon. And we need to be able to say them in a civil manner without disrespecting one another's beliefs. And I think that's it. Good night for now, unless I find something else to talk about.